Everybody.
Hi, everyone.
I'm here with Amy. We're at her gym today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brittany. Brenda's also here. She's just behind the scenes doing the heavy lifting, so to speak. We're really excited though. Today's going to be a little bit different because we're in person. We're at Amy's gym, and it is called Meraki CrossFit.
Good job.
Transformative Health 180.
Yes, good job.
So we're going to just start really light today. Do you want to tell them what we're going to be doing today?
So I'm just going to go over everything that will be like little details when you start going on your fitness journey and venturing on getting some more body movement, on just some trips and obstacles that I've overcome and that have worked for me and some clients to help set you up for success sooner than I had to. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes.
She's very helpful too. I actually was just telling her about I had to go in for a procedure on Monday and it was not very fun, and I was doing the breathing techniques that she showed me. So even little small things that you think don't matter, like your breathing, it all adds up, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to start talking about those little things, I think, today.
Yes.
And I'll just do you want to introduce yourself, Brenda, real quick?
I can just say hi. I just want to say this is Brenda. I'm behind the scenes. I'm here with you guys. I'll be helping to monitor the chat box. So please, if you're on our Crowdcast channel, please feel free to say hi. Let us know that you're here with us. If you're on Facebook, we're also on Facebook Live, so tell us hi. We're going to be sharing so much information, tons and tons of stuff. So what I want to do is, for those of you who are on Facebook, Madison, who's also joining us, part of our ProCare team, she's going to be posting a link on the Facebook chat that'll give you our Crowdcast channel, because all the links that we're going to be sharing today will be under, we call it the Ask a Question feature, and you can find all the links. There's probably about 20 or 30 links that Amy's going to be sharing, and so we'll be going through those, but I want to share with you that you can access those instead of making the Facebook feed all busy and crazy. We want to do that. And also, Blaine, hey, so happy you're here with us. Looks like you're joining us, so we're so happy to have you. So at that, we're going to let Amy. Amy is a CrossFit trainer. She's also a physical therapist, and she's a coach, nutrition coach. She is like the whole package. So we want to say thank you, Amy.
Yes, thank you for having us here.
We love her, and she has been coaching our ProCare health staff for now about a month, and honestly, making so many changes. Amy, I didn't know. I hear her little voice. I tell her, I hear her little voice every day in my head. Sit up tall, drink more water. All these awesome little things that she tells us. They're little life tweaks, and just makes me think about what I'm doing. So you guys are going to love her. And Amy, I'm just going to let you segue onto that. So
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's been a privilege to be able to work with the ProCare team. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and getting that feedback from me really just makes my heart smile, because everything that I do, I live. I'm not perfect by any means, but all of those obstacles that I've been able to overcome have been able to help other people. And then my biggest passion is empowering people to figure out what works best for them, because what works best for one person doesn't necessarily work for another, but it allows enough of that creativity to plant that seed and allow it to flourish. And then when you do, I'll talk about like a color wheel or like a toolbox to make sure that you're getting a variety. So that way you're not just always constantly going to one thing and then getting burnt out on that and then turning around and going back to old habits and patterns. So I have been in the fitness industry for, over 18, 19 years. I've been a physical therapist for over 16. And I have just continued to love every facet of helping people and empowering them, whether it's through physical therapy or being able to venture on and beyond through being independent at home as well, and just in life. So that was my frustration with traditional medicine, is that as physical therapists, we would get you to so far, and then we would have to discharge you due to max therapeutic benefit. And yet still other clients weren't able to do a pull-up and they wanted to do a pull-up, or feel fully comfortable getting up off of the floor, depending on how many sessions that they've had. And through the CrossFit and furthering their functional movements, I've been able to get people from the very low level, right post-surgery, to excelling all the way through whatever level of fitness they desire to achieve. So let's start things off then.
Okay, and Amy, I'm gonna be sharing my screen, so give me just a tiny second here. And so you guys are gonna see our screen, it's gonna change. You're gonna see Amy and Brittany still on there, and you're gonna see a PowerPoint pop up here. So tell us about this topic. What are we gonna be talking about?
So it's just things to kind of think about whenever you are first going to work out or start moving your body, whether you're at home, at a gym, at a CrossFit place, group classes, walking outside, like just different things to consider. And if you don't already have them in place, then you may want to. Mm-hmm. And that way you're not in the middle of a workout feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pass out. I should have brought some water. So hopefully now you'll have the forethought and be able to crush that workout just with something as simple as having the water right there.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and kind of, like you said, jump right in. So
on all of these things, just a disclaimer, because there's a lot of information with links. I've either used them myself or other clients have used them. I'm not getting any money or reimbursement for these products that I'm talking about. And with some of those links too, it's basically just, again, plant that seed to get you to figure out what's going to work best for you. Mm-hmm. And then from there to be able to expand upon that. And absolutely, if you have any questions, I'm always loving to be a resource for people. And one of the biggest things though is mindset. Like everybody wants to move their body. It feels good. It's very motivating, but if you are not working on your mindset before you move your body, you're setting yourself up for failure eventually. Yeah. So I want to definitely start with mindset, because even if you're visualizing what you're wanting to eventually accomplish, maybe it's a 5K, maybe it's, lifting a certain amount of weight, a grandkid, for example, it just depends on whatever that goal is. You have to envision that and have that bigger than your daily struggles, because those daily struggles are going to come. Mm-hmm. And that's where empowering your mindset initially is going to start. It can be something as easy as closing your eyes and visualizing that every day. It can be something as simple as listening to one of your hype up motivating songs that really get you going. Mm-hmm. It could be something as, motivation 2-minute thing that you see on YouTube. Just something that helps to flip the switch for you from, oh my gosh, I don't know that I want to get out of bed today, to, yes, let's rock it. Maybe mm-hmm. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to make my bed, I'm going to put my shoes on, and I'm going to go. So all progress takes place outside of the comfort zone. I love that quote. So thank you, Brenda. And that is exactly how we grow, by consistently reaching outside of our comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Even if it's something as little as, wearing some leggings when you weren't used to wearing leggings, or going to a new place to work out or walk down the street. Something outside of that, like doing something each day or each week outside of that comfort zone, allows you to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and continue to experiment to figure out what's going to work best for you.
Yeah. And it's not always the easiest thing to get up in the morning or to make time in your day.
Yeah.
It does sometimes put us a little bit out of our comfort mm-hmm. zone. It makes you realize what your priorities are.
And I've struggled with my mindset with that too. And what I found, what has helped me, is getting up and saying, instead of saying, oh gosh, I have to do this, today I have to go to the gym, or I have to do whatever my responsibilities are for that day, I try telling myself I get to do this, because some people don't have the luxury of getting the choice. You know what I mean? Some people can't walk. So even just being able to go outside and walk my dog for what seems like forever, because it's like 100-something degrees here today, but it's like that, just changing little things, because then you wake up and you think that already once you get into that habit, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. And I love that you said that, because even those that are higher level and they're mm-hmm. not just starting, like, we still have to tell ourselves to that, like, on a regular basis. So whether you're starting out today and today's your first workout that you haven't worked out in for a couple of years, or mm-hmm. whether you've been doing it for years, it's still the opportunity of, well, I'm doing the best that I can and I get to do this. Thank goodness I've been able to do this.
Exactly, yeah.
And I've been able to make that progress. Another thing is not comparing yourself to other people. because there's no, I
Oh
should
my
be
gosh,
a certain
yeah.
place at another level or whatnot. This is, are you better than where you were yesterday? And if you're not moving as good as you would like to do, are you mentally better than where you were yesterday? Or are you making better nutrition choices than what you were doing yesterday? So unfortunately, we want it all to go forward all at the same time, but that's not how life works. We'll progress in one area, go back a little bit in another area.
Nothing's
and then
linear.
Go forward.
Yeah.
Right. So as long as you're continuing to chip away and experimenting and figuring out what is going to be working best for you, it's still progress making forward, even no matter how slow it is.
Love that. I love that. I'm going to go ahead and go on here, guys, to the next thing, because we'll intertwine that with everything, really, all of those pieces.
Yes. So I started off with water because we're primarily made of water, and nobody likes to consume it, apparently. There's so many people that are dehydrated and they're tired and they're craving caffeine and sugary stuff. And if they would just get a little bit more water in, they would benefit from that. And it does more than just that. It gives you, you can Google the list of benefits of water, but it also helps with your mindset too, which is going to affect your motivation and ultimately get you to move your body. So major decision, you're going to move your body. Now, you need to stay hydrated, especially in this heat, even extra. So let's figure out what water bottle you like to start with. So I just like a simple shaker bottle. I don't know, $5-10, depending on where you go. And I can add stuff to it very easily. The top comes off, so it's not a big deal. To add powders and different things that I want to add. And then there's an opening that's really easy, and it shakes without getting me like an extra shower, which has been awful when the lids end up leaking sometimes.
Yeah.
But I guzzle water, and so this is just something that I really, really like. But I don't have to have it ice cold. Like some people have to,
See,
and
I
that's
do.
okay.
I'm one of those people that do. So I like the insulated cups like this.
And some people have to have a straw. So it just depends on what works best for you.
I took mine out. I'm not usually someone that has to have one. I just took it out because it's actually a metal straw, and I wanted to make sure I said to stay away from those, because if you're, busy and you just go in for a sip, you can really damage your teeth with a metal straw. So just be cautious about that. I wanted to make sure I said that because I myself have chipped my bottom tooth doing that.
I had not heard that.
So. Yeah. So just, if you're going to save the turtles and reuse straws, that's perfect. But I would go for the silicone ones. I wouldn't go for the metal or aluminum ones because they can really damage your teeth. But that's why I took that straw out. But this one's nice because you can use a straw, or you can open it up and just sip out of it like this too. Awesome.
And also, Caitlin, can I have that one? Also, if you're having a difficult time getting water in for the day, you can put apps on your phone, or thank you, you're awesome.
Thank you.
You can invest in a big old water bottle like this. I'm assuming you can all see that.
Stop sharing just a second so that they can see a big picture of it. Okay.
All right. Do I have that right? So this has basically all the water for the day. And then it's got little good morning, happy drinking. So she knows that after she consumes this for the day, that she's got all of her water in. Now, obviously, that's big. You can use it for weight working out too. So whatever makes you happy. Thank you. But I just,
where did you get that off of?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's so many different choices. So I just want to plant the seed for you to figure out what works best for you. And then, we can always expand from there and always have your water.
I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen.
Even when you're not going to the gym and not working out, you should always have your water on you.
Yes. It helps with cravings. It helps with fatigue. It helps with making sure that you're regular with your voiding and bowel movements. It helps with snacking. There's just so many different benefits that if people would get more water in, then they would be less likely to have those sugary and soda cravings as well. And then there's also ways to put electrolytes in there, which will help to keep you hydrated. And we'll talk more about nutrition and supplements and so forth in another time, but just know that there's ways to vary up that flavor of water so that you can remain consistent with that hydration. So towels are our next thing. Some people really sweat, and that's okay that you really sweat. Although you're sweating, you want to, again, make sure you're getting water. But Sometimes they want to be able to wipe things off, or maybe they get overhydrated or overheated, and they need one of those cooling towels too. So definitely, I don't have one with me today, but I believe that there's some links on there. Having just something to help wipe stuff off so that you can see what you're doing and you're not constantly having, the burning in your eyes from the sweat is something that is helpful with that.
Let's see the next slide here.
And then same thing with the wrist straps. So two different kinds. If you are doing like the cotton supports for the wrist straps to like wipe that sweat, or if you are doing it more for wrist supports. Our wrists are little bitty joints, and depending on what we're doing, we're not used to having that range of motion and bearing weight whenever we're doing certain exercises. So if you're in a position where you find that your wrist is getting extra sore, then there are different kinds of wrist supports that I just wanted to show you. So probably for the beginner, they have more of these elastic supports, and these aren't very expensive. And it just gives you just a little bit of support so that if you're doing a push-up or if you're doing something in a front rack position or even something overhead, that it can help to just give that little bit of support that's needed.
And you can probably get that off Amazon too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. These are more for like weightlifters, as far as getting that support, because there's a little more give, but then you can adjust that accordingly as well. And then this one is similar, but this one's a little too rigid for me. But again, depending on what support you need for your wrist, you may like it. So then I have these as well, which mimic having wrist support, but also helping with the grip if people get like sweaty palms and stuff.
I always have them.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. It must be like a genetic thing or something. Like I'm not hot right now, but my hands are always clammy.
So this has just a little bit of a strap, but you can see it does provide some support. And then it also has this leather that helps to decrease with blisters, and that also helps if your hands tend to get sweaty. This combined with some chalk works awesome. All right, and then continuing with that sweat, because we are just going to be working out really hard, burning all those calories.
Share my screen again.
For girls and guys, actually. Great, because it helps to stop having the sweat running down into the face, helps to keep the hair out of the face, depending on if your hair is going to behave and stay back.
Yeah.
And then especially guys, like they have shorter hair. That's okay. They have shorter hair, so the headbands come in handy.
Amy, did you want to show that again so they can see it on the bigger view? And then I have a link too that we can share as well.
Yeah. So it's just a regular headband.
And those you can just wash like normal, probably, right?
Yes.
Like throw them in the washer, because eventually they're going to get gross.
Yes.
Stinky.
Yes.
Let me show you the website. Let me click onto the website that you recommended, and that is.
Yep.
So this is junk headbands, athletic headbands.
Yes.
Anything you want to say about that?
Nope. I've just had some clients that like them, and they seem to stay in place, because that's the tricky part, is getting headbands that stay in place.
Okay.
So
I thought, man, there's some really cool ones. I'm gonna definitely go back and check that out now.
It's a statement.
It's
a
statement. Anybody that's watching, again, if you're watching on Crowdcast, all of these links are in the Ask a Question box under Best Accessories. The first Ask a Question that's listed there. You're going to find a whole bunch of other ones as we kind of go through these. Now, if you're listening on Facebook, again, Madison posted the link to our Crowdcast channel, which you would just click on to the fitness series part 1 of 3 essentials of fitness. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm actually going to go ahead and go to the PowerPoint. Go ahead and go to the next one, which is hair ties.
I have long hair goes like down to the middle part of my back, and I cannot stand it if I'm in the middle of a workout and I have to stop because it's falling out.
Your hair.
And,
It's so annoying. Yeah.
So there's two different kinds, because if you're constantly using one, then it can pull on your hair and break it. And I have my hair up the majority of the time, but sometimes I'll have to take it down because I'll start getting headaches. So those are just a couple samples of some hair ties that I use and that I have liked. So this is a really like real simple version. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some good, and I'll typically wear it on my wrists sometimes. And then the spiral ones are better for your hair, but they don't always last in the middle of a workout when like you're doing any jumping or burpees or running. So.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go ahead, Amy, if it's okay with you, and share the links that you shared with me.
Yes,
on
absolutely.
The hair ties. So you guys are going to see that here. I'm going to hop onto that. So the first one is a brand called Invisibobble. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And oh my God, I have been looking for stuff because I've been kind of having some hair issues. And I noticed my sister, who's a beautician, she recommended getting some scrunchies. So I was like looking through these, and this is exactly what I was looking for. Like these are so cool. There's like every color you can imagine, and they're really easy on your hair, especially after weight loss surgery. A lot of times people have problems with thinning hair or issues with losing hair, and these are a lot easier on your hair if you're wanting something that's not going to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
The other link that I have here.
And I've seen both of these at like Walgreens and like local stores too. So don't feel like you have to go to Amazon to get everything.
Yeah. We're just kind of providing links so you have visual links here. And we're not affiliated with any of these products. So just a little disclaimer there on that. So I'm going to go back and we'll go to the PowerPoint here. And the next one we're going to be talking about here is bras. If you're a man, stay with us because we'll have more for you to hear as well. But Amy, when we're talking about this, do you have anything here that you wanted to talk about? I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second so they can see you fully. So she's going to strip down here. I'm just saying.
It's family show. So part of when you're changing the body composition, because the chest holds a lot of extra fat, not everybody loses it there. I mean, that's the first place that I lose it, but not everybody loses it there.
Same here, yeah.
And so and you lose shape. So I will on all of my sports bras because I don't want to feel like a man, especially when I'm working hard to work out and be like just mashed. But I need to have that support because I'm big enough so that if I'm running, it hurts, and I don't want that. So these are some bras from Zaya. The biggest thing, especially for full-figured women, is that these are thin straps, but I want you to keep in mind of having like a crisscross in the back, especially if you get thicker straps. And then you may or may not, depending on your size, want the supportive padding and cuffs. But what they do is they just provide some form as opposed to feeling like you're flattened.
Yeah.
Because that had really bummed me out. I'd made some body composition changes, and I looked at myself with a bra, and I'm like, oh, I'm like mashed down, and it was defeating, or I felt deflated. So I didn't necessarily change bra size, but my shape was definitely different. And so it's not something horrible, but it's a very common issue. I also prefer to have like a clasp in the back, which these do not, but I liked, you can have like this clip here.
It's versatile. That's nice.
Yeah. And it can, I'm not a rep. It can clip back and like come together. But especially like when you have it and when you're very gifted up front, you need to have that crisscross in the back because it gives you that postural support.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to struggle with your straps here. So if you look, can I show yours? Yeah. So she's got some straps here, and this is a really cute shirt, by the way. But you can see how the majority of the support is in the back. Now, if you have more gift and padding up here that you need to support, then these straps are ultimately going to be thicker. And they might even be like another little tank kind of look, like mesh. But it's the concept of that crisscross. So you have the support here. And then, so this is kind of an example of that mesh that I was talking about here.
Yeah, I have some that are like that too. And it's nice because it's, me personally, I like the airflow. Because, I mean, the girls get hot, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing that I did not have, but I believe I had it in the links though, is when you have something like the BCG, I believe, on the link that they have like this here, and then it also like has a clasp here.
Yeah.
So
Can I go to that, Amy?
I believe it is on there, like, but I know it's on the website. I just don't know if it's going to pull up exactly the way that I want it to. So just know, like having that crisscross with that posture.
Is it right
yes,
here?
that's what I'm talking about. So that one already has the pad in there, I believe.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not gonna. So sometimes with these added pads, they like come out in the wash too. But that way, that looks like that keeps that form, and you have that clasp, and it's got that thicker strap that I like. And then the price point on
I say
BCG,
$25. That's a
ridiculous.
steal for a sports bra.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Especially the ones that has the built-in padding.
Yes.
That's really nice.
Yes, I was super excited when I found those.
And two, I'm going to just mention this throughout the course of our program or event here, is that these links are available on our Crowdcast channel under the Ask a Question feature. Madison, our work colleague, Madison Haynes, shared that in the beginning if you're on Facebook. So just kind of all of these, most of these that she's sharing, you can find under our Crowdcast channel under the Ask a Question, and their links are all listed there. Amy, I also have some other links. Would you like me to share those under the bras?
Yeah. Yes.
So
Please.
there's a full figure one under Amazon that is, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing
Glamorize.
So I haven't personally tried this, but I liked the details about it. So it's got that little camisole built in too. And then I like the added support in the front. And so a lot of times when you're bending over, or depending on what kind of shirts that you're wearing, but also like the wicking material that it markets. So again, for full figured, and it's got more options as far as sizes. And then the price point was awesome as well. Because some of these bras are like $100 for a
Yeah,
bra.
they can
It's
get
crazy.
really pricey. Yeah,
another one.
especially ones that are like Nike, Adidas, all of those
Yes.
brand name ones. Yeah, you can spend $80 on a sports bra like that.
And my frustration was is that a lot of them were more mashing as opposed to that form fitting.
Yeah.
I was frustrated.
Yes, I know. I agree.
So yeah. And
If
that's
you
just
know,
another
you know.
style.
And you don't know until you wear it a couple times, and then you can't take it back.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most difficult thing. So I have this one. Is it Notori? Is that how you pronounce that?
Notori.
And that's just so some of these bras, like especially when they give a little bit of shape and they have those different styles, like it's just comfortable to me to wear under a t-shirt as well. That I'm not having to constantly readjust. And then if somebody does see my bra strap, I don't personally like to show my bra strap on most of the things. I know certain people like this is like part of the style. Like this bra is meant to be shown, but some of the bras like that are regular bras I don't like. So if I'm wearing like an exercise bra or something that's comfortable, I don't mind if that shows because it goes with it. But if it's like a regular traditional bra, I don't want that to show. I just feel a little self-conscious about that.
Okay, well, we're going to go back here to this. We've shown all of those bras.
Well, the Soma is just something that has been like some clients of mine have used, and they've had
really comfy.
Yeah,
I was
had really great
gifted
experience.
one. So my friend's mom bought one and it didn't fit her. And like we were saying, after you wear it a couple times, you realize, okay, this doesn't fit me. So she gave it to me, and I'm so happy she gifted it to me because it's one of the comfiest bras I have.
Yeah,
it's not a sports bra; it's just a regular one, but it's the same brand.
Yeah,
and it's so comfortable.
They also fit you there too, and like size you properly.
Mm-hmm.
So at some of the other bra shops, I'm not as confident with their sizing, but they have a lot of variety to choose from here, and I've heard fantastic things about them.
Any specific style, Amy, that you would kind of recommend?
So the crisscross one, that like
This
top
one?
White one.
Yeah, that white one, the one to the right, just of that, yeah, that crisscross one there, like those, just looking at the screen, like pop out to me. I don't know what the back looks like. Yeah, that one right there. And then the other one all the way to the left, what's that back look like? Yeah. So all of that crisscross, like it just, and especially to have the option too, makes a big difference depending on how you want to wear the bra. but it just allows to reinforce that support when you're able to crisscross it, and then also take some of that stress off that shoulder, because you can have neck and shoulder and low back issues just on how you're positioned using your posture with your bra. So the more support that you can keep the girls no matter what you're doing, the better off everything else is going to be, and you're not going to have tension headaches because of where things are being held.
Yeah.
And honestly, that doesn't seem like a bad price. I mean, 35 to 45, well, it's starting at, but that does not seem like a bad price, honestly.
And they have sales going on too, pretty frequently. Like I think right now they have a buy one, get one 50% off. I want to say they do that like probably once every couple of months.
You kind of fudge it a little bit with shoes or different things like that, but if you don't have the right bra, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
For guys, they not necessarily bras, but if you're depending on what kind of activities you're doing, sometimes they'll get chafing on their nipples from the shirt, which is a very, very common thing. Yes. And something that's easily remedied with that is just a simple Band-Aid, a little circle Band-Aid just to put right on the nipples, so that way it decreases some of that chafing.
Amy, you also shared with me this, which is Body Glide.
Yes.
Would that help with any of that also, or would that be more for like the groin area or like under the breast?
For the guys or
for any, I guess anybody.
So I, at least in my own experience, have been like more between the thighs. There's been a lot of rubbing there.
That's what I've experienced too. Yeah.
Sometimes, depending on like the underarm area when you're having some rubbage there, and then if there's anything like, especially depending on the clothes that people end up wearing, and the folds of skin that they have, just getting any irritable spots is where that helps to decrease any of that skin irritation. Yes, and so that kind of goes with the tank top versus the t-shirt. So if the tank top, depending most times it's fine, but it's 110 degrees outside, like I'm going to sweat a lot and I'm going to be having some rubbing if I'm wearing a tank top like Brittany is. And so I kind of like, so sad story a little bit, but maybe everybody else can appreciate. So I was running with my son, like, I don't know, 6 months ago, and I was like, I'm not farting. It's my arm because of the moisture.
Yeah, it makes that noise. Yeah.
So like I was just so you know, but anyway, so the chafing bar is there, the Body Glide, that's gonna fix that, but it's gonna keep you from having that rubbing there, and it'll decrease any of those
and
irritations.
that can kind of stop you in your tracks. Like if you're doing like long runs, or if you're doing,
my goodness,
like I can remember having that, and it's just awful. Like,
and it doesn't take long for it to happen. And like going back to the bra topic too, bras also, if they don't fit good in here and they're rubbing against your,
or if you
and
have
this
it
is
too
a very
tight and it's coming over,
and this is a very sensitive area. At least for me it is. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree.
Absolutely.
But your inner arms and right here, it's very sensitive. Like, there's not a whole lot of cushion there, so you can feel it.
We call it peaches.
Peaches?
These are peaches. Yes. The peaches are very sensitive. Yeah. And if they get overly rubbed, then it can cause some skin breakdown, and you don't want to have a wound in a very dark, moist place.
And you're sweating. I'm sure it
absolutely
stings and makes it feel even more uncomfortable. It's just no fun for anybody.
Right. And that's where, like, when I'm working out, I prefer the leggings over shorts, just especially if I'm going for a run or a long run, because I don't want to have to constantly be pulling it down. There was a point in my life when I was like bleeding and scabs in between my thighs because I didn't know about the Body Glide. First of all, it was a long time ago. I don't know that they had it then, but even the Vaseline would like not last as long. And the Body Glide is really, really good.
And it has like that weird residue kind of too. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to our slides, guys, and we're going to share a little bit about bottoms, like pants, shorts, that type of thing.
I feel like either you're a pants or shorts girl. There's no in between, right? I hate wearing shorts when I'm working out because I feel like they ride up. I'm constantly pulling them down. And,
right.
I mean, the biker shorts are fine. The ones that come up like to your knees, that I like those a little bit better. But even still, I'm pulling them down. So that's what I prefer pants. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat too, because there's places to put my phone in my leggings.
Yes.
I have the higher waistband typically.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I haven't been as successful in finding the shorts that are comfortable for me, because then if I find them that have the higher part, they don't have the liner. And if I'm sitting a certain way, I don't want to like expose everything. So I just want to work out and not have to worry about anything else. And the leggings provide that for me. And then I've been traumatized, like I said, with the blisters between my inner thighs with running, that I'm just like, no, I don't have to repeat Groundhog Day and have my skin break down. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I prefer leggings as well. With that,
so we have 3 brands here listed, Amy.
Yeah.
We have Lulu, Marshall, and Koala, and Zia.
Yes.
4 of them.
So the Lulu is a great brand. It's a great name. Zia as well. They're pretty comparable. Zia is a little lower in the price points. I'm not a rep with either of them. I prefer Zia because I can get some money off if I have a party or whatever, and I'm not getting anything out of this here. But just to show you some examples of like what I'm talking about. So this is like the stretch as far as putting yourself in to things, and I prefer the compression. And then there's also like a place to put a phone or a key or something like that, which you don't appreciate until you don't have it. And then I just feel like
they don't look see-through at all.
Especially if you're running or walking or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
so
then
this is Zia.
yes.
Is it Zia or
Zia?
I think it's Zia.
Okay.
And then this is a lighter version, because that was one of my complaints with Zia, is that the compressions one were hot. And so these are vibration ones from Zia that are less, but they don't have a pocket on the side. But these are definitely, they still have some compression, but they're a thinner material than the one that I just had. What I know is both with Zia and Lululemon, their leggings, you're not seeing through them. So when you're doing your squat test and different things like that, they all have like so I have some on actually. So there's like a compression here that comes up, so you don't have to worry about it when you come down to do a burpee or squat, or you're not having to readjust everything because it stays put. And then they also have shorts that are compression as well. They do have some longer ones. I wouldn't wear these. These are too short.
Those are too short for me.
Yeah.
Remind me of volleyball shorts that the girls wore in volleyball. They were shorty shorts. I also want to just say real quick again, I'm going to keep repeating this throughout the thing, that if anybody wants any of the links that we're going to be sharing, these products that Amy's sharing, on our Crowdcast channel, if you're on Facebook, these are listed on our Crowdcast channel, and the link for that is posted under the chat in the Facebook.
It's 38 minutes.
Under Madison Haynes, she's one of our colleagues, and it just says www.crowdcast.io/ProCare WLS. So the links are all under the Crowdcast under the Ask a Question. Okay, sorry, Amy. Go ahead.
Nope, that's okay. It's just the concepts of, I like the compression. I like things that stay where they're supposed to be.
Nothing's going to come flying out.
Yes.
Things there. I do like the concept of these shorts. It's just I would get a longer size, a longer size is what I would get. And then the Koala ones are thinner. They're off Amazon, and I'm not as big of a fan just because they didn't stay up like I would hope that they would, and there wasn't near the compression. But if you're a taller, leaner kind of individual, they would probably work fantastic. I know that another client of mine loves them and raves about them. So, and then when I had Marshalls at Target and stuff listed there, they sell leggings. Yes, they do. They have different sizes as well. My experience personally has been that I haven't found the right ones there because, and even though they were cheaper, I ended up buying more or even throwing them out because I was finagling and trying to adjust and everything else. And then my daughter was like, Mom, don't squat down. You can totally see through your pants. And like, I'm in the middle of teaching a class. Like,
really embarrassing. Yeah. And
so,
us women, we have enough to worry about. We don't need to worry about that.
You sit down on a bench and then the whole bench is wet because you've been sweating.
And that may happen no matter what leggings that you're wearing, just because you're sweating. But like, as far as like see-through, so like if you're gonna do like a gray, it needs to be a lighter gray, because the darker gray will like show stuff. Same thing with like a shirt per se.
Yeah.
Like, this is more of a dark gray and it's not as exposing, but like the medium grays, like you can see sweat like right away. So it just depends on the clothing as far as like seeing it.
So go lighter or go darker?
For leggings and stuff, as far as not seeing sweat, would be like darker colors to me. On shirts, it would be more. It can be a little lighter or dark. And so I would stay away from the medium, like grays.
While we're talking about leggings, I wanted to ask this. I probably should have asked this earlier. Have either of you guys tried Fabletics?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? I have personally not. I have friends that love them but hate them. So
yeah,
that's why. And it's kind of expensive too, isn't it? You pay like a monthly subscription, and
there is a subscription. I didn't like. Again, it wasn't justifying it for me.
Mm-hmm.
As far as it was hit or miss. I liked the styles; they were adorable.
That's what got me interested. I was like, wow, this stuff's really cute, but
for a tall, leaner person was like more kind of where it was geared for.
Yeah.
I'm about 5'6", and I've always been stocky and had curves, so I didn't like that as much. And then they wouldn't stay the way that I wanted them to.
Yeah.
What was the name of that one?
Fabletics.
Okay.
But
it's one of those ones that's just strictly online, I think. They don't have any stores.
Have a store.
Oh, they do have a store?
Yeah. I want to say it's at the Galleria.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It's a mall. It's a mall here.
It's a mall near here.
I don't remember which one. I don't get out that much.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone really has this past year, right?
Okay, guys, we are at about 142. A little bit of share screen again.
So for the guys, we've been like hogging it for the girls. There's the chubbies, the lane.
Let me share that with you. I do have pictures from Zia too of the slideshare.
Yes. But the guys that have tried those pants or shorts have really, really liked them. So, and it's got some liners, and they're comfortable, and they're for more rounded, muscular, bigger guys.
I thought this was really cool. Like, I'd never seen this brand before.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they're kind of like compression underneath and then shorts on top. So I'm going to show some different pictures here from the website.
Those look comfy.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would wear those. Right?
I do like this.
Yeah. It looks like they have different designs too.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like the bright color underneath, if you're more of a subtle person. And what's the price point for those?
It looks like $69.50, but I guess you're kind of getting almost two pairs of shorts, really.
Yeah.
You're getting the compression plus the other.
It pays off when you're getting a liner. I can't stress that enough.
Well, especially for
having to worry about,
guys.
Yeah. Again, making sure your stuff is where you want it and not have to or something gets pinched or whatever. It's just not fun.
And Amy, I'm going to go back here to the slides, and I'm going to allow you to share a little bit. So the Zia brand that's listed here last.
Yeah.
So we have some slides you want to tell us about?
So one of the reasons in regards to like compression, Zia is very big on female empowerment as well. But the compression of like what had sold me, especially for me, I feel better because I feel like it helps me to carry my body better and more confidently, which helps me to not have to think about that. And I can just continue to do whatever it is that I want to do. But with these pictures, they're so powerful on when people are going through transformation and not buying into like Instagram stuff, like the posts, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've lost, 100 pounds in like 2 weeks. Like, you can see like their tricks and of the trade of what they're doing, just with simple photography and compression stockings to leggings. So she's a beautiful person inside out, and just amazing bravery to be able to share her story.
Yes.
And so inspirational. And I just appreciate on not because it's reality, it's life, it's what happens. And a lot of times people are so bummed on themselves and they can't have the way to carry themselves the way that they feel after they've worked so hard to have this body composition, and yet you can still be beautiful and carry yourself confidently with these. So that's why I really like this.
I love those.
Yeah,
such a pretty color. I like the
It is, yes.
the leopard print too.
yeah, she looks so good.
In the bike shorts, yes.
Mhm.
That's more my speed if I'm gonna wear shorts.
Right.
And I guess it's this one here that she's
Mhm.
displaying. It's cute.
So, and it's all about, no matter what we're doing, it's all about functionality and being able to live life and enjoy life and just to be able to rock on what you do. And that's one of the reasons why I really like this brand.
Here. And then, so this is under, Jess is her friend that is one of her clients, I guess?
Yeah, she's a client of mine. She's got ridiculous customer service. If we've had any issue whatsoever, she's resolved it without anything and then some. So I just, if you're wanting to try this brand and see what it feels like and what you like about it, she's the person to contact. And if there's any issues whatsoever, she will resolve them before you're even done with the phone conversation. She's that good.
Yeah, so basically it's just logging on to myzia.com, and then Jessica Gonzalez is the host who's Amy was talking about.
She's my friend.
She's your friend. And then bottoms, I also want to kind of touch real quickly on the ones you just talked about recently, that if you can't find a size, say in Zia or some of the other Lulu, I don't know what sizes they go up to. I know yesterday we checked on, or Amy, one of our colleagues, Erin, checked to see on sizes, and the Zia brand went up to size 20. Now that may have just been a certain style.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but so she asked us to share some other ones too here. So that's what we're doing.
And just, keep in mind everything that we talked about with regards to the quality of the leggings. If there's compression, if you can see through them, how high they go up, the
if
length
they're going to stay in place too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the same thing, no matter what brand or where you buy it from or whatever, that still applies to whatever leggings that you're putting on, no matter where you get them from.
And that could go for guys too, stuff too.
Yeah, so males, I think we just shared this. That was the Chubby's brand.
Yes.
For females, we also had some compression under this Amy's Walker and under Athleta. I'm going to kind of go to those two slides here real quick, just to share those.
And it's basically like the female version of like the Chubby's shorts. It's just having like the liner under the shorts. Some of them are shorter or longer than others. Yeah. So that's the longer version of the compression.
And then here is the other one that we kind of shared on.
And then Athleta is, again, similar to a Zia, or I think it's also maybe a branch of a bigger brand. I can't remember exactly which one, if it's associated with Lululemon. I'm not really sure. But they have shorts and they have the leggings as well. That second to the third from the left, and the second to the left, like the bike shorts basically. And then having some of the regular shorts that have a liner underneath.
This one and this one.
Yes. And then I thought there were some shorts that had a liner with them as well.
The running shorts, I think, probably do.
Okay. But that was the concept of the other shorts, besides having them, like, you didn't want them compressing. Yeah. They're tricky finding and Zia has some shorts too that have the liner underneath the free flow as well.
And these look like they range in price. These are around $59 here for these. But if you buy a pair that you really like, guys, you will wear them over and over and over.
You get so much use out of them. Yes.
And honestly, the return policy with Athleta and Lululemon and Zia are insane. Like, really, really good. Like, you can have it for an extended period of time, and if anything's wrong with it, you can return it. So that's been really good customer service. I mean, you're spending a lot for these materials. So the material, and they're saying that they're going to last, so they need to last. And they back that up too.
I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to the PowerPoint. And we're going to go to the next slide, which is, we have about 10 minutes left.
Okay. We are almost done. So that's just the squat test. So making sure that when you're bending over, you're not seeing through it, that it's covering everything, that, if you go down to the floor and you come out, that it's staying where it should stay. If you're seeing where you are bending your knee or on your bigger part of your hips whenever you're bending over, if it starts getting shiny, then it's a size that's too small.
Amy, I'm going to put you on screen so that you can kind of, I don't know if you want to.
You want me to demonstrate that?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see my butt.
Well,
all right.
Or just kind of.
So I would do like something like that. I would be like, all right, this, or I'll have somebody behind me and be like, all right, can you see this?
Yeah.
Sometimes people will do like a full-fledged burpee, and they'll come here.
Okay.
And then you want to make sure that this doesn't move, and it hasn't. So, and then like they actually have like a video too of this girl. She put a line here as far as a marker, and then one under her shorts too, and did, I don't know, a bunch of these body weight workout type things, and they didn't move. So thank you
for doing that. I appreciate
Just
it.
a little taste of what's to come.
I know, exactly. So I'm going to go back here to where we were. And I'm going to go to the next slide. Which is socks.
yeah. So again,
Ooh,
I don't like having to mess with stuff when I'm working out. I just want to work out. So I personally just go to no nonsense. There's a blend. I would stay away from straight cotton. Not only with socks, but for underwear, I would go for the blends, because it takes the wicking moisture away from your skin. But if you're in the middle of a workout and your sock is coming up or down and you have to stop because there's rubbing from your foot to your shoe, that's annoying, and I don't like it. So I'd rather go shoeless as opposed to continue to mess with my socks and my shoes.
That's actually happened to me before at the gym. And luckily I bring extra socks with me because, they start to smell after a while, guys. And there's one time I was in the middle of, I was on the elliptical for just a little bit because I like to warm up on there. And my sock was messing with me. And I was like, I literally threw them away.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. I was like, well, if I can't wear them, why do I have them still? So I just threw them away. And luckily I had a second pair in my bag. But
because then you get rubbing on your foot if you don't have the appropriate size sock.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Part of the reason why I know about no nonsense is because I'd gotten behind on laundry and I had to go to the store and buy packages of socks. So
I'm happy that doesn't happen to just me.
So, yeah. And I've just stuck with them ever since. So good job for staying at Schnucks and Walgreens. No nonsense.
Let's see here. Also,
no nonsense.
So the next thing here we have under this category is shoes. And Amy, there's 3 different things that we kind of talked about. We have on the slide here: yoga, running and walking, CrossFitting. So there's different types. First, I'm going to take this off for you just to kind of talk about yoga.
Yeah, so in yoga, you don't typically need shoes. You can wear them if you want. They have those little toe shoes. They have water shoes if you want to wear them, but typically you're not wearing shoes. I just had that list there because I wasn't exactly sure what everybody was doing. So I wanted to try to cover bases. With running and walking, especially if you're heavier and older, and I felt like this was a game changer once I hit 30 because I was having pain with running. I remember running and having the skin actually hurt my hips and my body because I just had that extra weight there. But on top of it, when you're having that poundage, my shoes weren't the right ones. So the Uka Onis were the ones that on that link, game changer.
Is it because you were compensating more in your hips and it wasn't right in your feet, or?
No, it was because I just had that extra weight and it just hurts because when it's just moving.
Right.
But in the joints themselves, as far as backs, yeah, those are CrossFitter ones. As far as joints, ankles, knees, low back, hips, those have a ton of cushion, especially if you're going to walk or run or if you're having any issues. And then it's just been a huge, huge game changer. So if you're having any pain with walking or running, it could be your posture, like what Brittany was talking about. But if you have good posture and you're carrying that over, typically I wasn't having a lot of places as far as trails to go to, and I was on blacktop a lot, which is really hard on your joints.
Yeah.
And those are just a game changer. I cannot recommend those enough.
This brand right here, right?
Yes.
I have it on the right screen.
Yep.
Okay. So there's men and women, guys. So, and there's all different kinds of, depending on what you're looking for, road running, trails, hiking, walking.
Well, that's nice that it
for women,
can break it down to
same.
what you know, what you like to do too.
Yeah.
It looks like they have a lot of arch support, is what I'm noticing too.
It's a lot of cushion and a lot of arch support. I compare it to like walking on clouds. Like that was how much of a difference it was
I want
between.
some now.
And price-wise, let's look at one of the prices here.
So price-wise, they're competitive to like the other running shoes in the area. It's about $150, like ranging that I've seen.
That's right. Looks like there's some for $115, $130, $160.
Well, you have to keep in mind though, these shoes are going to last you a long time, you know.
You never want to skimp on your shoes, and you never want to skimp on your bed, because you're going to spend the most time of your life on your feet or on your back laying, you know, sleeping.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. And if you are not having the proper shoes, then it can irritate and cause muscle spasms, and then you're not going to want to move. So we want to get you up and going.
And you want to tell us about Nike? Because we have that right here listed as well.
So one of the lists that I had for that was more of like a flat-soled shoe if you were doing more of like a functional movement, like a CrossFit class.
So stop sharing just so that you can show what you have. She has something to demo here.
Yeah.
And we have 5 minutes.
So basically, whether it's Noble or Nike or Reebok, you just want to have more of this flat-soled shoe, and you don't want it to have that big, huge cushion. Like, so the Uka Unis, the one that you saw, they have cushion that's like an inch on some of them, depending on the shoe. These are really flat-soled shoes for more functional movement. So the Uka Unis are more for the walking and the running. If you try to do a squat with the Uka Unis, yes, you can do them, but it's more of like doing a squat on like a dyna disc. So these other shoes that have basically no sole to them and they're very flat are going to be the more appropriate shoe if you're doing more functional, like weightlifting, different things like that.
And it looks like Scotty just commented. She said, "I love that raid for my 5K." So I'm thinking that she's talking about the one that you were.
The Uka Unis,
yeah, I guess.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping that that's what you're talking about, Scotty.
Big,
Hi,
huge
Scotty.
game changer.
Hello. she's one of our
Yeah, she's always with us. We love Scotty.
Yes.
And if you're doing weightlifting specifically, this is just an example of a weightlifting shoe. It's got a harder heel, which kind of elevates up here to be able to do more specific only weightlifting. So the difference being that if I was going to do something with bars and then run, I would do a flat shoe like this, because that would give me the versatility. Yeah, this is a Noble shoe. If I was going to do just weightlifting, depending on the lift, I would just do the weightlifting shoe. If I was going to do just running or maybe running and body weight stuff, I would do the Uka Uni, which is the thicker heel, or not the thicker sole with all the cushion. If I was going to do yoga, I wouldn't use any shoes.
So Amy, I'm going to real quickly here share my screen, and I'm going to jump back on to those links. So the first one was the
So all those would be like functional shoes with Noble,
how did you pronounce
the
it?
Uka Uni.
Okay, and then we had Nike.
So the Uka Uni would be for the running. The Nike, like the Nike Freeze, would be again for like running plus weightlifting or functional movements that you're doing more body weight stuff. You want a real thin sole for that. And then the Nobles, again, you would be doing the cardio plus the weightlifting because you need that flat sole.
And then we also have Reebok here listed.
Yes, that's a similar functional shoe with the flat sole.
And then looks like as far as orthotics.
Yeah, so typically, especially as we get older, we get flattened arches. And then the heavier that we are, we're more at risk for that as well. So these are some arch supports that I recommend to clients. So it was just putting those out there in case you're having some difficulty. If you're not set up from the foundation up, it can cause some issues in your ankle, your knees, your hips, and your back. And so being stable from the foundation up allows you to continue to move and not feel like you're having aches and pains and being punished for working out, but setting you up for success. And this could be appropriate if you're on your feet all day at work too.
So the next thing too I want to mention is what happens. Scotty, who just said that that's the brand that she uses, she said that she uses for 5Ks. She said that I also had severe plantar fasciitis issues, and they gave amazing support. And I noticed, Amy, you actually have another link too that's really helpful. I'm going to go to that real quick.
So that's another version of an orthotic. The one of the plantar fasciitis is the last one. So plantar fasciitis is a really common thing. A lot of people are tight in their ankles, and there's two muscles that cross over that if they're tight. This particular sandal has been made by a podiatrist, and it helps with those with plantar fasciitis. And so it basically puts it on more of a stretch. So it doesn't completely replace the stretching that's required, but most people aren't consistent with the stretching that's required. And it also allows you to look cute and be functional and still provide some preventative and very good relief to some otherwise plantar fasciitis pain. So if you're looking at a sandal, that would be one, especially if you have a history of plantar fasciitis, that would be one that I would recommend that you try. And I have had clients get that and they loved that.
That could be, any of those insoles could be a game changer for anybody too.
Yeah, the insoles and that for those that have had a history. Now again, I still need you to stretch, but you're able to basically, instead of being isolated, do a stretch for 5 minutes or 20 minutes even a day. Like that sandal, when you're up and walking and using it on a regular basis, like you're functionally working those tissues out, which is decreasing the pressure where you're having that pain, and be able to do more.
We're kind of right at an hour, so that's okay. But we want to close to Amy. So if people are interested in maybe talking to you more, kind of share a little bit about that, and we can show your two sites too. What I'm going to do is kind of go to your first site. Amy has two websites. Again, these links are listed. If you're joining us through Facebook, Madison, our colleague, has posted a link to our Crowdcast channel, which all of these links are under the questions and answer function on that. Under the fitness series, part 103, Essentials of Fitness. And Amy, tell us about this.
The CrossFit gym?
Yeah.
That I have? Okay. So I have a CrossFit gym that has been open just over 3 years. We've survived the pandemic, which is awesome because there's a lot of gyms that have been closing. So I think that speaks volumes. Honestly, it's been a struggle, but it speaks volumes. I have a passion of empowering people and promoting their independence in any shape, form, fashion that I can. And this allows us to do this on a smaller scale with group classes. And I have adaptive athletes. I have young athletes that are in sports. I have middle-aged working moms and busy dads. And I have grandmas that are coming in and being able to improve their functional fitness and just tackle life and not get sideswiped because they got hurt by bringing in groceries. So there's ways that we can help to address anybody at any level, and we scale it appropriately to allow anybody that walks or rolls through the door and to get a great workout and be able to, take whatever life throws at them.
So are you doing anything virtually yet?
I have done virtually. It hasn't been as successful work of my time. So I do have personal training clients that I do virtually, but as far as like class virtual, I haven't.
So I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of these people are from all over the U.S.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. Well, if you're interested in personal training, I can do that virtually, but I don't have the virtual classes.
And so I want to share too, so she also does physical therapy, personal nutrition, consultations.
Yep. So physical therapy, personal training, I call it lifestyle nutrition. I'm not a registered dietitian, and I don't claim to be. I just take a lot of times clients have been frustrated because they've been thrown a stack of papers on how to make healthy lifestyle choices. And then they're like, this is basically like baked chicken and steamed vegetables. How am I going to survive on that? And I say, well, let's look at what you like and let's look at how we can substitute different foods and get that balance so that you can continue to function and not go towards old habits. And I've been very successful in teaching people how to substitute what would be otherwise poor food choices, but still feel like they're making the sustainable outcomes with those choices and continue to make progress. Because anybody can lose weight, but it's losing the weight and keeping the weight off and not gaining that.
You know, you can go on the low carb diet all you want, but at the end of the day, is that going to be sustainable for, you know, your rest of your life?
Right.
So
Fads are not realistic.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have everything. I don't see
Any other questions?
Questions. I've been kind of watching. I don't see anything quite yet. But we'll give them a second.
And we're going to be here again next week at the same time, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Next, actually, we're going to be missing 1 week, and then we have a series of 3 events. And to
I thought
find
it was
those,
next
we'll go to
week,
our
maybe not.
podcast channel. Let me peek here real quick and look. Fitness series, it looks like September 8th. So we missed 1 week. Labor Day week. We missed 1 week.
That's right.
And then we have the following week, which is September 15th at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard.
Brenda thinks that she deserves a vacation, so that's why we're not doing next week.
That's why I'm remembering it. It really is camping. I don't know if camping's a vacation.
Can
but
you
it is for
believe
me.
that she thinks she deserves to be away?
Oh, guys, okay. Here we go. So I don't see any questions, but we appreciate every single person that's joining us. We love you all.
Yes.
If you're joining from Facebook, like I said, I mentioned it several times, but we have a Crowdcast channel that this is being live streamed to as well. All of the links that we provided throughout this whole presentation are listed on that. We also have Amy's contact information listed on that. We also want to give a shout out to ProCare Health. They're our sponsor for today. We love ProCare. They've been really all about helping us and also helping all of you out there with staying healthy. And so we love ProCare. If you are interested in knowing more about ProCare, I'm going to share a link where ProCare is a multivitamin for bariatric surgery patients. They have amazing products. I'll share the links on both Facebook and Crowdcast for you to check out their products. They're known for their very low prices. They're 1 a day multivitamin that makes taking vitamins super easy. And they're also known for their calcium chews, which are amazing. They're so delicious. You don't have that aftertaste. So check out ProCare. Ask for a free sample. There's a link that I'll share here in just a moment for you all. And we're signing out, but we're going to say, have a wonderful week. Any of you guys want to say anything?
No,
I just appreciate you all having me. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So.